Hey, welcome to Caching in the Northwest. This is the podcast from the birthplace of geocaching right here in the great Pacific Northwest. Now, it's 9 p.m. Pacific, and they call me Chris of the Northwest. And we're going to talk about geocaches and geocachers from here and all around the globe. So while you're suddenly noticing how early it's getting dark, we'll be caching in the Northwest.
It gets dark right about sunset.
Oh, yeah, about every day too, doesn't it?
Just about every day. Yeah. We're not talking about sunsets tonight, though. We're talking tonight about, well, an upcoming Halloween event with the host of the event, ConfusedZombie.
Hi, everyone.
Josh. Welcome. We're glad you're here.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Hey, listeners, are you excited to find out more? Give us your feedback. Stay tuned. Find out all the details coming right up. And good evening.
Hey, thank you. Maybe the astute viewer, the listener may not have noticed anything yet, but the astute viewer will know we are monkeyless tonight.
It's a monkey-free zone tonight.
Yep. Seebeck tribe, who is astute, has noticed, are we monkeyless?
We are.
And Caching Cans wants to know who's going to make the monkey business. Well, that's not limited to just one person.
When the monkey's away, the host will play.
That's right. Yeah. Okay. A quick reminder that we appreciate the support of our patrons.
We do indeed.
Who keep this podcast coming each and every week. And thanks to Land Sharks. There it goes. Our corporate Denali level sponsor. Have you seen anything on geocaching.com? Maybe they're promoting. You go to look at a web page, you notice a little ad to the side and you go, oh, that looks cool. Well, Landsharks is an official geocaching.com reseller. That means anything you see on that page, you can order from them. And don't forget, they ship orders daily. So it's very cool. And let's see if I can do this. Our other premier Denali level sponsor is Cachely. It's the premier geocaching app for iOS. Version 8 with Cachely Pro features offline maps for the entire world so you can navigate while offline. Delorme or Delorme, I don't know how to pronounce that because, 50% of the geocaching world pronounces it one way or the other. So you have Delorme and counties so that you can finish those grids. And coming soon, CarPlay support. Woohoo! Find Cachely in the iOS App Store or go online at cachely.com. If you want to know more about supporting the show, click the Patreon link somewhere on the cachingnw.com website. Yeah, look around, see if you can find it.
I think I see it.
Okay.
Yeah.
It might be backwards for you because
it could be.
You're looking from inside the screen.
Yeah. That'd be the Nori trap.
It's easy for you to say.
No, it wasn't right.
Hey, it's time for the glow.
Really?
Yes. And you may ask, what is a glow?
I may, but I was looking in the chat to see if anybody else had, and nobody else has. So, all right, I'll take pity on you. What is a glow?
Thanks for making the bit work. A glow is a geocaching log of the week. So whether you read it or whether you wrote it, we want to hear about it because great logs simply make geocaching better. Now, you can send an email like everyone does, or you can send a recording to feedback@cachingnw.com. Better yet, you can call into 253-693-TFTC and show us just how you glow.
I want you to know that Kitty Quest helped us out with what is a glow.
Thank you.
And almost there, Seebeck Tribe says, what the glow?
I don't know if glow can be used as a curse word in that arrangement, but you know what? It might not be bad. It could work. All
right. Well, here is a glow submitted. Let's see. Rocket Glider wrote the log. Cool Cow Caches, it looked like, sent it in from their adventure lab, which is called Climbing Curriculum. And the glow, as we've often said, a glow does not have to be a novel length glow. This one's short but sweet. I think you'll like it. Rocket Glider wrote, I joined the Mountaineers in 1980, a month after St. Helens blew its top. I had heard the saying, don't get summit fever, the mountains will always be there. Turns out the saying is sometimes wrong.
Oh, how true that is.
Yeah.
Right. And since Rainier is also a volcano one day,
You never know.
yeah, you may not be able to climb to the top. Well, you always be to climb to the top of Mount Rainier.
Yeah, it
It
just
just
might
may
be
not be the
easier.
same height,
Yeah.
right? You can still climb to the top of Mount St. Helens.
It might be a shorter trip someday.
Exactly. That's what I'm waiting for. let's let's just level that mountain. I'll climb to the top of it and say, "Hey, look, I climbed Rainier too. Big deal."
I've been waiting for them to install an escalator.
Mm.
More my speed.
Hmm. Or at least a good road, right? A Forest Service road drive you right to the
Sure.
top. That's enough.
Any votes for helicopter?
Ooh. Don't they do that for skiing?
I'm sure they do.
Take you up, drop you.
Maybe a Red Bull parachute from way above it. Land there.
When you realize a drink company has a better space program than your government.
Yeah. All right. Hey,
Okay.
back to caching. You know,
Hey.
one thing people like with caching? They like
What is
them
that?
souvenirs. They do.
Boy, they love their souvenirs.
That's right. And you, yes, you, dear listener, dear cacher, dear viewer, you can earn the International Earth Cache Day 2024 souvenir by visiting any Earth cache and completing the logging requirements from Friday, October 11th through Sunday, October 13th of this year, 2024. All non-premium Earth caches are open to everyone throughout the weekend on the geocaching app from 11 a.m. UTC Friday the 11th until 10 a.m. UTC on Monday, October 14th. So get out there and find them Earth caches. Remember, they don't have physical containers. Instead, they take you to a unique geological feature. You study your surroundings, answer the questions, roll the dice, move the mice.
Nobody gets hurt.
That's right. And then you send all that stuff in to the geocache owner and log your find online.
Here's a question. Maybe I've asked this before. Have you ever found a premium Earth cache? Premium member Earth cache?
I could not honestly say yes or no to that question. I don't know.
I didn't know there were, but I'm sure you could click, premium member only when you.
It makes
get it.
sense. Yeah, I've never checked. If you have a question about Earth caches,
Mhm.
email Land Monkey. He knows everything.
He is the Earth cache mafia.
That's right.
If he doesn't know, he'll make it up.
That's right. And it'll sound official.
That's right. Hey, we did skip a part. If you want to join into tonight's chat, use the hashtag Halloween. Just because I think we've used events too many times. Use Halloween in the chat to ask a question. Of course, you can use the hashtag FATAS if you want to bring up anything in the after show. And be kind to us this evening. We're without a chat lackey as well.
Yeah, it's a Canadian free zone. At least in the hosting realm. I see
I know.
plenty of friendly Canadians in the chat. Man, we're glad you're here.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so Earth Cache souvenir, right?
Yeah.
For Earth Cache Day.
Yeah.
Adventure Day is coming up. What is Adventure Day, you may ask?
Is that like What is the Glow?
Yeah, but you don't have to do it.
What is Adventure Day? Oh, there you go. See, Josh.
I like
right in
you
there.
guys.
Yeah.
What a team we've got tonight.
Adventure Day is a brand new thing that geocaching.com's or Geocaching HQ is doing. Adventure takes on a unique form for each of us, whether it's a thrill of climbing to reach a T5, solving a tricky field puzzle, or exploring a new area of your neighborhood with Adventure Lab. What's important is that you're out there embracing your version of adventure. This year, we're celebrating this diversity with a special souvenir. Don't miss out. You have a limited time to earn a brand new Adventure Lab souvenir to celebrate Adventure Day. Join us from Friday, October 18th to Sunday, October 20th. Those dates seem familiar for something.
Sounds like a week after
a little
Earth Cache.
familiar to me, at least.
And all you have to do is complete a single Adventure Lab location, and you've earned the souvenir during that weekend.
Sounds
wait.
achievable.
There's more. Is that not enough souvenirs for you? How about the fall Ceto season from now until November 30th?
Well, that's a much bigger window, isn't it?
We're going to give you even another souvenir. World Postcard Day, which they give you like a week for World Postcard Day, right? Remember when Earth Cache Day was only one day and then we got a weekend? Well, World Postcard Day is attend any geocaching event from September 29th to October 5th.
Hmm.
So that's almost here upon us.
Yeah.
And I've noticed there are several Postcard Day events in the area.
Too much fun.
I know. Isn't it though? Or is
Well,
it just
yeah.
the right amount of fun?
I don't know. Let's see what the viewers have to say. And we know that cachers do love those souvenirs. So get out, mark your calendars, make sure you collect all the souvenirs. And, maybe something else going on that weekend too that we're going to talk about with, well, we can call him Confused Zombie, Mr. Zombie. He also answers to Josh. We're just glad you're here.
Well,
Thanks
thank you for
coming
having
in.
me. I'm excited to be
Yeah.
here.
Why don't you, if you don't mind, tell people a little bit about yourself, where you got your geocaching name, perhaps, how long you've been caching, and, well, any, important personal details that we can use against you later.
Gotcha. Credit card numbers, phone numbers, that things.
Yeah.
Oh, perfect. So I got started geocaching in 2009, December 2009. So a little bit before smartphones. And I didn't have a GPS and I didn't have the smartphones weren't a thing. So I would just go on to geocaching, kind of get the general idea of where it was and just go hunt in a park. And hopefully I find it. Days were a lot longer. If I got 2 geocaches in one day, it was a big day back then. So
It's still a big day
still
for
a big
me.
day. I liked zombies, the original Dawn of the Dead. I liked and a bunch of things. And I think sometimes when I was looking for geocaches, I was kind of stumbling around. So that kind of went hand in hand. And because I didn't have a GPS or really anything to guide me other than kind of a really poorly drawn map on a napkin, I looked confused. And back then, not a lot of people knew what geocaching was. So it kind of
Right.
just worked. Kind of just went together, and that's stuck. Threw it to the
Nice.
wall and it stuck.
There you go.
Yeah.
I love it.
I have hunted for caches with just a paper printout because I didn't have a device back in the early days. I wonder how many people in the chat did the same.
Yeah. It was.
I did.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah. You zoom in, you go, oh, it's in that park. And the only thing near it is this picnic table. It's got to be there. I'm just
Gotta be
going to go over and look.
Yep.
Yep. Did that a lot.
Mhm. And you come back, you go, I found it without even using a map. This is
Yeah.
great.
It's my claim to fame. Other than that, I'm very fortunate. My wife, she's a big geocacher. She loves challenge caches. So of course I have a trail with challenge caches. With the souvenirs coming up, I do have a souvenir challenge cache. If anybody's, in the Olympic
Oh.
Peninsula area and they don't have that one yet. And then I have a son who's just a little over 1, and his claim to fame is he did a geocache with me and he was 6 days old.
Wow.
So, yep. So that's just a little bit about myself as far as geocaching goes. Other than that, I just enjoy meeting people and hiking and just getting outdoors.
Nice. Now, you're also a representative for the WSGA, which is an organization I could personally get behind. Tell us how long you've been doing it and really what do you do for them?
So as of this year, I swapped over to being a member, and I had 2 years running as the rep, which was a great time. I got to meet a lot of new people and do a lot of great things. And then life happened, and by that I mean switched a new job and had a kid and was going to college. So I was very fortunate to have Seebeck Tribe take over for the rep in the area, and she hosts. I don't know if you've seen her count for the year, but it's pretty high. So she hosts quite a few events, and I just try to help her out any way I can, and then kind of collaborate. And she has done a great job as far as I'm concerned. So
yeah, I came across one of her listings today while I was looking for different events in the area, and she was hoping to do 50 in the year, 50 events, and she's at 36 right now.
That's impressive.
So
Yeah.
yeah.
And she's got postcard events coming up. So
Hey,
I think that's what I saw it on. It was the postcard day event. So impressive.
Yeah.
we
Well
talked
done.
about the souvenirs. Caching Cat said it's a souvenir palooza. You can get 4 souvenirs in 5 weekends if your math is correct. So
Souvenirapalooza. I don't know if that works. I like the effort.
I like it. Yeah.
There's a little too many syllables in there.
And speaking of Seebeck Tribe, she contributes. I finally qualified for the souvenir challenge.
Awesome.
Nice.
So
Now she
that's,
can only get to the Olympic Peninsula.
Yeah, she was.
I
and
know.
the
Yeah.
crazy part, she might be very close to where those challenge caches are.
Wait, challenge caches plural?
Yes. So I'm working on a trail of challenge caches.
Oh.
And I went not to divert, but I went a little easy to start with, like with 150 souvenirs and like 200 mystery caches, and then I went a little more, I guess, playful. And one's called backyard barbecue, so you have to get like different things that you would see at a backyard barbecue. So like food nearby, picnic benches, an assortment of that, and it goes on. And the last one right now is Shadow of the Forbidden, and it's zombie themed, ironically enough. So,
Huh. Noticing a theme.
yes.
There you go. She's like 2 miles away from there. So,
Yep.
well, as we like to divert with the and follow the chat here, Kitty Quest asks, how many souvenirs are required for the challenge?
150.
150. Okay.
Yep. So 150.
I'm not sure I have that many. I might. Who knows?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I do. I have to go look at my.
Can get a big jump on this weekend.
I should.
So there's postcard events, all kinds of events coming up. You've hosted several events. Can you talk about some of the ones in the past when you've already hosted, and maybe what made them special? Did they have any special themes or things like that?
Yeah. So we were fortunate enough to do a makers event. I got to host a makers event when they were doing those event. So we did a makers event where we were like, well, we got to make food because that's how you get people there. So
It usually attracts me.
yeah, it's pretty. So we made food. We had slushies and all kinds of like mudslides and things like that. That was cool on the food side. But we also did where we had makers bring in geocaches that they've made and kind of showcase that. So of course we had Goblin Dust come and he has some of his caches that he put out. We had Bounce come over. We had GC times 3, Seebeck Tribe, and everybody over here. I built 2 portable escape room boxes, which is kind of like my theme. And so it was a great time. And then with everyone there, we had a bunch of supplies where they could kind of create their own geocache. And then we kind of voted on it. Everybody got to keep their geocache that they made, and we give some prizes out to everybody that made a geocache. So I thought that was a pretty special event.
Okay,
So,
you've mentioned escape room boxes. I think you mentioned it before we got on the going here, and now in my head, I just think of when I'm a kid, and mom got a new washing machine or refrigerator, and you played in the box for a week, and it wasn't terribly hard to escape from that box.
I mean, if you were to tape the top of the box, it could be a little harder to get out of.
True, and I didn't know you witnessed some of my childhood horrors. But maybe we were going to talk about this later. I don't know, but I'm intrigued by the escape room box.
Okay. Yeah. So it's like a. Have you ever done an escape room itself?
I have not personally. I've seen them done, but.
Oh wow! Well, you missed a good Halloween event last year. But they call it a escape room box, but really it's just like a mystery box that you're trying to finally get to a code or maybe a key or a certain thing in there. And what you get a bunch of different clues, and they might unlock different things in the box, and you have to figure out kind of like your way through the box. And there may be things as straightforward as how many fish are in the box, right? And then that's a code for something. Or it could be a little bit harder. Like I had one year that frustrated a little bit people. Was like, find the missing cards in this card deck and the pattern, and then put it all together to make a thing. And yeah, it was. But I did a zombie theme one. Surprise!
Surprise.
I've done a beach themed or a pirate theme. I've done a clue theme, and I've started working on a Star Wars theme for next year. So yeah, they're fun to do. And Seebeck Tribe even hosted an event one time where she rented a bunch of portable escape rooms boxes, and had a whole event where you could kind of work your way through that. So it's pretty neat.
That was a fun event. That's the first time I saw a portable escape room.
Yeah.
Right. So it's a large travel case that you open up, and then there are panels that open it up, and make it, like a study cubicle. Right. Do you remember those from your school years? And it would set up, and then so you had these 3 panels to look at, not only the bottom, but there were locked compartments that you had to figure out how to open. And it was information from the panels, or you'd open up a locked compartment, and there'd be a set of cards, and that would help you find the next one.
Hmm.
So yeah, I thought those were a great idea. And Josh, I did you have 1 or 2 there?
I had one there that
One
time.
there,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah. And that was the more difficult one.
Right.
That was my first test on how to do those. And I was like, I learned a little bit.
Yeah. It was well done. I appreciated it.
Yeah.
Okay, so you mentioned last year's Halloween event. And
Yes.
boy, did you go overboard on that one. I thought, you had a chili cook-off, you had escape rooms, puzzle caches, all of this in a creepy warehouse. The escape rooms were actual rooms you'd go in, and have to figure out the clues. You could get out at any time, right? There was nothing holding you in there. You weren't actually locked in.
I was holding the door shut, but yeah, no, I'm just kidding.
What were some of the escape rooms? How'd you come up with the ideas?
Well, that old saying, it takes a village.
Mhm.
So it definitely had an amazing group of people help me out. Some of us have an interesting nickname they like to call us, the Kitsap Mother Finders. So if you've ever stubbed your toe, you might have said something close to that, or who knows. But I wanted to do a Halloween event because the first year we had it, we kind of did. I did my escape room box there, and we had a couple other puzzles that you had to do, and we were in a smaller community center, and it was great, and it was packed, and it was hot, and I was like, oh, this is great. So then I was like, how can we do it again? And then Goblin Dust, as one, he's creative. So he's like, I have a warehouse. I was like, well, that's random, but okay. So I said, hey, let me take a look at the warehouse. And I start looking. I was like, they have all these store rooms in this warehouse where they had like set up stuff. And I was like, escape rooms. And that was ambitious because if you've never
Mhm.
built an escape room, it takes a lot. So I got together with a really good group of people and was like, hey, this is what I want to do. I want to build 6 escape rooms. And they're like, oh. And that turned into over a month and a half long of us coming down to this warehouse quite frequently, and trying and building these things and trial and error and that kind of stuff. We had a room in the very back that was really dark and had like a bathtub and a safe and slimy stuff that you had to do, and it was kind of dark. And then there was one that was a campfire, as you would geocache. And there was actually a person dressed in a Sasquatch outfit.
Wait,
And he
that
would
was a
lean
person?
over the wall and throw leaves and like grab at you while you were doing that. Those 2 were by an amazing couple named GC times 3. Right. So they did an excellent job on those. I couldn't ask them about. The next one of the other ones was there was a magical because not everything's got to be scary. There was a magical room. It was like a Harry Potter room. There was
Mhm.
floating candles and boxes that you had to unlock and all kinds of really neat stuff. And that was my wife, Honey Bunny 16. So she did that room. We had a pet cemetery with all kinds of skeletons and such, which I did. I had a seance room where you had to summon the dead with a Ouija board. You may get to see that again somewhere
Hmm.
in the future. And then we had and what was really great is we had a fairly new geocacher was like, I want to build one. And at the time, her name was Me, and she changed herself to Watching Whales. And she didn't even get to go to the event because she was going to be out of town. But she gave me a room. It's like, can you put this together? And I said, yep. And so
Wow.
that's kind of what the 6 escape rooms were. It was a great time. So yeah.
Yeah, those were a big hit. That was a lot of fun. You had like a key or something hanging on the outside of the door. So if somebody took that to go in, you knew the room was occupied.
Yeah, and we had something on. I can't remember what it was.
I
Yeah,
can't
but it was
remember
like a
what it
key.
was.
But
Yeah.
it was something that it would let you know that it's occupied and not to come in, or you could come in and scare people. It's your option.
Mhm.
It's up to you.
Apparently that happened to Seabeck tribe. Nothing like being scared in one and screaming really loud.
Oh, I do remember that
Yeah.
too. That added to like the the scariness
Yeah.
of the whole warehouse.
Key
So
Quest says it sounds absolutely amazing. And it was.
Yeah.
yeah,
Seabeck tribe says it may be coming back again. Talking about the portable escape rooms. They were old voters panels. So like mobile voting booth. If I'm not mistaken, there was one that still had the legs on it. You could extend the legs
oh
down. We
yeah,
did
I
them on
think there was
tables.
one.
Yeah, but one still had the legs on it. So that's right. It was a voting, like a mobile voting booth, right? You could put up the panels so nobody could see how you're voting.
And I actually talked with the owner of I've done the escape rooms
Mhm.
here in Kitsap, and the escape rooms are kind of fun. And I talked with the owner at a fair, and he had gotten wind that I build portable escape rooms. So he said, "Hey, I'd like to talk to you about some stuff." So that'd be kind of neat to see. Maybe we can go from there.
Yeah, that would be neat.
Yeah.
Going on in the theme, CRS 98 says voting is scary.
Mm.
Yes, it is.
The election season we're in is scary.
Yeah.
Yes. That probably adds to the screaming right now. Okay. Enough of that, but the event that's coming up, it's not just a single event. You've made an entire weekend full of geocaching. How many events do you have coming up? In fact, it's so many events coming up that they decided to do a souvenir weekend on top of this.
It was perfect for it.
Yeah.
So the original idea, I was bouncing it off bounce, and goblin dust.
As
The
you
idea
do.
of the Halloween weekend, and he has not a warehouse, but like this, a
Office
big
space.
office space, right? So we were talking. He was talking to Goblin Dust, and he's like, "Hey, what would be really cool? I have all this office space. We could do escape rooms over here, right?" Which they are doing.
Mhm.
Um, so I was like, "Perfect." And I was like, "Well, they're doing escape rooms over there. I've already done escape rooms. What can I do?" I was like, "Well, we have to have the chili cook-off. We have to have costumes and pumpkin and food, and there'll be gadgets there and some other stuff." And I was like, "That would be cool." And I was like, "Well, what if I did a whole weekend?" And that's kind of ambitious. And I was like,
Yeah, it is.
maybe I'll do like 2 events." And I start thinking about it. I start asking around. I was like, maybe I'll do 6 events. And then I was like, I'm off that Friday. I think I can squeeze 7 events in there. Um, so it kind of starts on a Friday morning called Waking the Dead, because it's Friday, you might be tired. And the goal is of all these events to give back to the community or utilize the community the best we can. So the first event's at a coffee shop. Uh, yeah, a local coffee shop to and you don't, obviously you don't have to purchase anything, but it's cool, and they've agreed to let us hang out there, which is great. And when we're at the coffee shop, I'm going to give recommended caches for the area, because who wouldn't want to have a recommendation list of all the caches you can do in the area, and or adventure labs, because
Sure.
there's be some adventure labs for that. And that hopefully will get people out and about and kind of checking the area out, because we have some amazing hiders out here.
Mhm.
And the WSGA geocaches are coming to an end soon, so that'd be a
That's
good
right.
time to grab the OP
Yeah.
area for that. And
And
then
we should mention this is on the Olympic Peninsula, right? So if
oh
you're not
yes,
that familiar with Washington State, right? So as you look to the left side of the map, and you've got this funny little protrusion, we call it the horn of Washington here, but that's the Olympic Peninsula. And
Yeah.
this is, almost at the eastmost edge of that in Bremerton.
Yeah. It's kind of like the people from Michigan. You can go like this and go, okay,
Yeah,
it's
there you
not
go.
here.
yeah,
It's
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 right
the
there.
thumb of
Yeah, there you go. It's a thumb of Washington.
Yeah. I mean, if you're a really good swimmer, you could swim from Seattle, but that's long swim.
It
You
is.
can take a ferry.
You could take a ferry.
Mhm.
Yeah, so it was Friday, and I didn't have to work, so I was like, I'll host an event. I think it was Go Workouts. I was like, I'm just going to take that day off. I'm gonna start on Friday morning, right? And then there's the dinner that evening. The dinner's kind of to catch anybody that is either coming in town or getting off work or whatever have you, and kind of talk about the weekend if you're going to stay in the area. And again, I'll have the recommended geocaching list. We'll kind of talk about the weekend. And I may be convinced to do a night geocache because there's some good night geocaching around our area, and there was talks of doing that. And zombies usually roam around at night or day, so I'm okay with that. And some people need that for challenge caches, so
Yeah.
so we might venture off that night and do a night cache. It's still in the early talks of that. Then the next morning. You get coffee again because I was like, hey, I need coffee. So the first day I host event, that evening my Honey Bunny 16s host an event, and then I was like, hey, Seaback Tribe, remember how you're close to me and I need help? And she's like, yes. So she's awesome enough to host a coffee event. Again, at another local spot, and then we're going to host a CETO following that, because again, we want to give back to the community, so we're going to try to clean up and do as much as we can. And then shortly after that, at least 10 caches are publishing and you'll have a passport that you can fill out for the main event. 2 to 3 adventure labs, maybe more. So then you can run out and get the 10 geocaches that are Halloween themed. And you can bring your passport to the main event. There'll be adventure labs, so you'll be grabbing your souvenir for the adventure lab. You'll be grabbing your CETO for the fall CETO. So there's 2 souvenirs right there if you need them for the area.
Mm-hmm.
And then if you get time and you're not busy, or maybe you already have it ran, then you can get your potluck dish ready. Your chili, because you might win the chili this year cook-off, and there's prizes for that. Your costume, or you could be running around in your costume all day. I'm an advocate of running around in the costume all day, so I highly recommend that. And then you can kind of get the caches, check out the area, and then we have the main event that evening. We'll probably have scary music. And we'll definitely have a projector playing for movies. That's kind of, we talked about it before, that so if you have younger kids with you, and there's a movie on, it might be Hotel Transylvania or whatever we have, so the kids can watch it. There'll be gadget caches there from Goblin Dust and Bounce Bounce.
Nice.
And potluck, bring your favorite dish.
If it's not chili,
if
even
it's
if
not,
it's not chili?
yeah, I mean, you can bring both. That's what I say.
I tried several of the chilies, and the winning one was very good, but I paid for it the next day.
Yes, several chilies will do that to you. But it's
CRS 98 says geocacher is a costume.
Yeah.
Just saying.
It can be.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Some people have pretty elaborate geocaching outfits.
Well, yes, they do.
And some just
people
blend
just
right
have
in.
some elaborate costumes.
Yeah, it'd be weird if seem weird if I'm running around with my machetes and all the other stuff that I go into the thick forest with, but you never know. It's Halloween time.
Yeah. We're
could
sending you into the blackberry patch, though.
Yeah. Hey,
I don't know
Chris,
if you
Tomokino says everyone around you paid for it too.
That's right.
Oh. Maybe you're by yourself.
I was a very lonely cashier that weekend.
Yeah, very lonely. So we'll have the main event, and you can kind of socialize and try food, hang out. There's no escape rooms this year because the next weekend after that, Bounce Bounce has his event, and there'll be escape rooms there. And
we talked about that a couple of weeks ago on this podcast. We had Bounce Bounce on,
and I have 2 things there, and that's cool. Like the October and September is just packed with Halloween events.
So when you say 2 things there, you're talking escape rooms.
I would say they're not full rooms, but they're 2 puzzles to figure out.
Okay.
So 2 puzzles to figure out. maybe a portable escape room box. We'll see. We'll see if I get to it.
It's not like you've got anything going
Yeah, it's
between
not
now.
like all got a 1-year-old full-time work and helping develop a local park, that kind of stuff.
Easy peasy.
Yeah, easy peasy. So that night, everybody can come and have a good time, and we'll give prizes away. Kind of the things. I somehow convinced myself to get a new 3D printer, so I've been printing like fun little coffins and stuff. And this one says, "I'll be a
Nice.
nightmare" from Jack and Sally, right? And opens up, so you might have something. You could win containers. There's little ghosts with tea light candles that you can put in, and the eyes will light up. So I have at least 10 of the plastic ammo cans. My goal is to fill those up with geocaching prizes to give away, plus
Wow.
whatever else we got. Yeah, so we're I want to give. I just like giving things away and having a good time. And if that's not enough, and you're not
It
tired
isn't.
enough,
That's hardly anything to do.
yeah, and
Yeah.
if that's not enough to do for the weekend, on Sunday morning, Go For It is hosting a coffee in Paulsbo, and
Because
a
how
Cedo.
else are you going to start your day?
Yeah, I mean, how else would I start my day?
It is the
You
best
see
way
a
to start
theme
the
that I
day.
requested. Hey, could you do
Mhm.
a morning event, but make sure it has coffee, please? And then there'll be a Cedo following that too. So if you miss the Cedo on Saturday, you'll have a chance to catch the Cedo on Sunday. If you miss coffee Friday and Saturday, you have coffee on Sunday.
And coffee's so hard to find any other day of the week.
Yeah. So, and you
Especially
have to
in
come
Washington State.
specific to these events, or you might not ever get coffee again.
You
Who
never know.
Right.
knows?
That's right.
So yeah, I'm pretty excited. I had a great group of people. Still looking for, if anybody's interested in helping do decorations for the warehouse. We still will be doing decorations in the days coming, and just setting up. We always appreciate anybody that can help out with that.
Mhm. And cleaning up afterwards.
Yeah, and cleaning up after.
That's
and
always
might
appreciated.
be leftover chili.
There you go.
No.
Yep.
There you
So
go. That's
Yep.
a really, really full schedule of events. But you mentioned maybe doing a night cache, and if 7 events isn't enough, GeoNavPro says you could add an event to warm up after the night cache.
I could.
Maybe some coffee.
I have time to put it if I really wanted to. If I really wanted to stretch it out.
This is the chat room being helpful.
Yeah.
Again, I have a 1-year-old, so stuff late at night is harder for me. But if somebody wanted to host a night event and add it to the list of events,
There you go. It's a team effort, people.
There you
we
go.
could do it. We could do a 2.5. We don't have to. The numbers can slide around. We can do whatever you want. So,
Love it.
yeah.
GeoNavPro says you're welcome.
You're welcome.
Yeah, thanks. But it wasn't enough, right? So yeah, I'm excited. I think the Halloween event's a big draw every year for us, that we've done in the last 3 years. Last year, we had some really good glows, as you were calling them, some
Mhm.
amazing, and that kind of drives us to do it, right? To do it more, seeing
Yep.
those, and they don't
Yep.
have to be long. It can be like awesome event, scare Seebeck Tribe next time, or whatever the case may be, right? So those really get us to keep doing it. So I would just say anybody that hosts event really appreciates a nice log. It doesn't have to be long, even if it's like, hey, you did a great job. That kind of helps motivate. So
I'm really glad you brought that up, because it's really true. We like to promote glows or geocaching log of the week, something that is a fun story or something, but being able to say thank you and, sincerely mean it to a event host. That's something that I go back and read, 2 or 3 times after the event, just to say, is there anything else? Did anybody else like it? And it just gives you that feedback, that affirmation you're looking for. Like, okay, what I did worked. Maybe I can make it better next year if I add, X, Y, and Z.
yeah, and it's funny you say that, because this year I almost didn't host a Halloween event. I was kind of on the fence because I was already busy. I was like, well, Bounce is gonna do one. I could just help out over there. And then I started reading some of the logs from last year, and then I was like, all right, I'll do it. And then I think it was Gia from headquarters wrote a
Mhm.
really nice log, and she's like, "Man, we just kept talking about it in the office like for like a week," and I was like, "All right, well, I guess I guess I'll try to help out." So
That's where that sincerity, that like you mean it,
Mhm.
comes in.
yeah,
Because when Chris said that, send a gratitude log like you mean it. That reminds me of when you're kids and tell your brother you're sorry. Say it like you mean it.
yeah. Sorry.
Yeah,
Yeah,
sorry.
sorry.
And that
Yeah.
no, you didn't mean that.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, logs really mean a lot to a lot of
Mhm.
people, and we like
Yeah.
reading them here. So if you see some fun ones from all these events, send them in to feedback at cachingnw.com.
There you go. And it doesn't have to be long, right?
No,
Yeah.
It's
tonight's was nice
something
and short.
right. Because the events aren't always going to be there, like mountains.
Yeah, the mountains will be,
Yeah.
or not.
And we need someone to take up the mantle. As you noticed, some of the bigger events are starting to disappear
Yeah.
over the times. And
This is the last year for going caching.
yep, I think Tri Cities is
Yeah.
they're not.
Crushes is
It's,
done. Yeah,
yep,
They're at least officially taking a break.
yeah.
yeah, officially taking a break. There's a couple other bigger ones that were like, hey, we might take a break. So it's kind of nice to have some events that maybe
Mhm.
if Halloween becomes a big enough thing and we do a weekend, it might be a bigger thing in the future. Who knows?
Mhm.
Could be a pretty nice little thing, and I learned a lot from other events, so I can't take full credit for the events. Uh, one of the events I went to is Incarnation,
Mhm.
and they have a Halloween event,
Is that
and that
Shop
was
99er?
no, Carnation is. I'm trying to think off the top of my head. It's a group of people. So
Okay.
it's a really good group of people, and that's where I got the idea of we should play do a passport and do like Halloween event type caches because they do that, right?
Mhm.
And they were amazing last year and came over. And if you went to the Halloween event, there's a giant hearse outside the event with like all this decorations. They actually brought that over, so I used that, and then
As one does when they have a giant hearse.
yeah, I mean, just
Yeah.
park it wherever you feel like it.
It's Sir Carp.
Sir Carp, yes, Sir Carp. And then I,
Mr.
just took
Fishes, I call him.
I took bits and pieces of other events that people really liked and kind of
Mhm.
like smattered it together and hoped it worked. And one of the big things that had me do more than one event is there was a lot of logs. Man, I really missed the main event. Too bad I didn't get to do like another smaller one. I was like, oh, well, we'll change that for you. So.
Oh, in case you wanted to know, Sir Carp has his event this weekend.
There you
So
go.
Yeah.
that I didn't know. I'm gonna have to go look it up.
Yeah, Komokina will be at the Nightmare Incarnation event
There
this
it is.
weekend. Looking forward to it. So
Yeah, I might see you there.
there
It
you
depends
go.
on if my 1-year-old wants to go.
Maybe there's a movie showing that might entertain him.
That's true.
Yeah,
I'll
just
have to
saying.
reach out to Sir Carp.
Now I know Nightmare Incarnation has been abbreviated NIC, right? So you'll see there's caches in that, right? Yours is Terror on the Peninsula, which abbreviates to TOTP, which I'm in the IT world, and all I can see every time popping up is time-based one-time password. I'm
You're
like,
welcome.
yeah.
Incarnation is a network interface card. So
Yeah,
There you
network
go.
interface card. Yeah,
Which is funny. It's just it's like, wow, I don't see that often, when you talk about TOTP, but there it is over and over again.
over and over.
Oh, wait. That's not what that means here. Hang on. Let me shift my brain. I can do this. So that's a really ambitious schedule for 7 events and possibly adding a night cache and
Mhm.
maybe adding in another event just because you're not done yet.
yeah,
I hope you have enough people helping you out. Now, you said you've got people doing the coffee events for you. What about some of the others?
Yeah, so I have a great group over here. That's I think one of the I'm very fortunate to have on this side of the water, and I think more and more people are starting to notice it with the events. But the quality of caches over here are really really good too, and uh, over the years of just kind of, you befriend people and you bounce ideas off them and they kind of stick, or they're like, nah, that's not a good idea. And then you kind of form this community, like geocaching community, and come together and be like, you just one day you go to an event and it's like, all right, so I have a crazy idea and I need help. And, people just like, all right, I'll do it. So like right now, they're still placing the caches for the event. I'm going to place a few, but yeah, they're being placed as we speak. So Seabeck Tribe, Alondro, possibly Goblin Dust, Theo Wilson, Honey Bunny, Watching Whales. I mean, there's a ton of people over here helping me hide the caches, do the events, and still need decorating crew. And I'm sure some of those are going to help me. But if you got some fun, scary stuff that you want to do, just let me know. But yeah, it really does come together with a great group of people.
So Saturday, go get an extra cup of coffee,
Mm-hmm.
get all that energy, and then show up at the event to help decorate.
Yeah.
There you go. Yeah, we'll be open early. The event will be open early. So, and if you want to scare somebody, I won't stop you from dressing up in a werewolf outfit and scaring people on the way in. Have at it. Last year we had that like zombie research facility as you walked in, kind of scary, and you could step on a pad and it would scare you. Or you had a different entrance if you were sensitive to light or smoke or fog or any of that stuff. But yeah, so if you want to do that, if you've always wanted to be in a haunted house, let me know.
I love it. I love it. Wow, that's a lot to do.
It is indeed.
You've created 3 days worth of geocaching fun for people to do on the OP, on the Olympic Peninsula. You're not going to be able to get to all of the OP. You're not going to be able to do the full 101 route around it, but you know what? You're going to hit a really good portion of it, and I think find some really good caches.
Yeah, and the 10 caches that are being placed will be in the Paulsbo, Silverdale, Bremerton, Port Orchard, Seabeck area. So like kind of really we're trying to keep it kind of close. That way you have a chance to do all 10 of them. And if you don't, that's okay. You can still bring your passport and be entered into a drawing, but and you can kind of go your way. And I don't even know what the containers are. That's the surprise, because I let them go.
Scary part, isn't it?
It's actually scary, right? So I let them go. I said, hey, do a Halloween theme and do whatever you want. I just need specific information to add to it, and you don't have to tell me anything about the container, because I'd like to also get out there at some point and check them out.
That's cool, because you've done a lot of work behind the scenes, but you still get to enjoy it and have some surprises there too.
Yeah. So yeah, it's really a fun time.
Well, and know if you're coming from, I want to say anywhere east of the OP, or anywhere east of the OP, which is still Western Washington. If you're going to drive over, you're going to take a toll over the bridge, unless you're willing to go down through Olympia and up and around.
Yeah.
Or if you're, up north, you're going to take a ferry, which is going to cost a little bit. So just know that, if you're going to this, go ahead and plan to stay the whole day, because you're going to love it. And travel is a little bit of an expense, but that is anywhere you go anymore.
Yeah. And there's just so many great caches on this side. You're going to miss some. You might miss a challenge trail that you're like, man, I should have done the challenge trail. So,
always do a challenge trail.
And we'll have the recommendations for you.
There you go. Maybe grab a hotel, go out to dinner, tip well, and make sure that they know you're geocachers. Give geocachers some little good cred there.
Yeah,
I like that idea. If you dress up like a geocacher, they'll just know.
Yeah, that's obvious.
Yeah. Okay.
Or you just wear a shirt that says, "This is my geocaching outfit," and they'll know.
IR cacher.
Yeah, IR cacher.
Infrared?
Yes.
Okay.
RF cacher here, but anyway.
There you go. Josh, thank you so much for joining us. We really appreciate that. Thank you.
Thank you for having me. I hope maybe somebody's inspired to come over and check out some of the events and caches. So thank you.
Fantastic. And listeners, we hoped you enjoyed this episode of Caching in the Northwest.
Absolutely. And we want to take a moment to thank Land Sharks and Cashly. They are our corporate Denali level sponsors. Landsharks.ca is the outdoor adventure and geocaching store. Check them out online. They ship online orders daily, people. And Cashly, well, it's the geocaching app for iOS. You're going to love it. Go check it out. We also want to thank all of our faithful Denali level supporters. That is Landsharks and Cashly, but also Cool Cow Cachers and Hawaiian Miley, who I saw in the chat tonight somewhere. If you want to know more about supporting the show, click the Patreon link. You'll find that over on the CachingNW.com website.
Like Nervous Energies did.
And geocaches.
Green Words.
Skyhawker.
Gas Station Tuna.
You Talks to Rocks.
Active in the chat, CRS 98.
M-Nerve.
Active in the chat, Wet Coaster.
Active in the chat, Camp Clan.
Didn't see him tonight. Mountain Bike.
Oh, yeah. How about Flagman?
And Teus.
Railroad.
Kid Vegas 19.
GeoBirder.
Just finding our way.
Be Pendragon.
Limex.
Doramore.
Team Noltex.
Suggesting another event, GeoNav Pro.
I think he's going to be there to run it. I'm just going to commit him to do that now.
So GeoNav Pro we'll just put down for the night event.
There you go.
Okay, perfect.
It's not too bad. He's coming down from Canada.
Sure.
I mean, it's just a hop, skip, and a jump.
Sure.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
A bicycle ride down. There you go.
Very right.
J-Car.
Kitty Quest.
Peach of Washington.
MC3 Cats.
GSM times 2.
Boomer 365.
Logwork.
BC Rock Crawler.
Whidbey Island Gal.
LG 9000.
Just Carlo.
Terrible Teas.
You, Dak.
Seebeck Tribe. Lots of contributions in the chat tonight from Seebeck Tribe.
Still going. Yeah. Trexer.
Sege Hove.
Ackerdoc.
Butterfly Girl.
Genies.
And rounding out that awesome pack, Subway Mark. Thank you to all of you guys.
Thank you.
Gals and everybody's. And thank you, Josh, for joining us. If people wanted to reach out and host another event, help you run an existing event, brew you a mug of, carafe of coffee, clean up after the event, any of those kind of things, do you have a preferred method by which you would have them get a hold of you?
Just you can send an email through the geocaching app, or you can send a message directly through the geocaching app. That'd be perfect.
Perfect.
Fantastic. And folks, thanks for taking the time to listen to this episode of Caching in the Northwest. Your support helps keep the quality shows coming. So if you like the show, please click on the Patreon link on the CachingNW.com website. And if you didn't like the show, which, I say this more often than not, I don't know how you couldn't have liked the show, but let us know what you want us to talk about. In either case, if you like the vibe, please subscribe wherever you get your podcasts and give us a review. If you were in a restaurant, you would tip. If you were in a live audience, you would clap. But since you're on a podcast, leave us a free, fast, fabulous, fantastic 5-star review. You can also call into 253-693-TFTC and leave us a comment, ask us a question, or startle us at any event, any time of the day or night. That's mostly for Wit's End. Go ahead and startle him. He loves it. And of course, you can email us at feedback@cachingNW.com. Join us every Thursday night at 9 p.m. Pacific for a live show and chat. The show is produced by Chris Umfenauer, Jim Paulwitz, Jay Kennedy, and Brian Lang. It's licensed under a Creative Commons Attribution 3.0 license, copyright 2024 by Chris Umfenauer. Folks, I ask you to stay tuned for
The After Show.
The After Show.
There you go. Well, we've got some content. Not all of it's after show. Some of it's during the show. We just didn't get to everything because you guys are just so chatty, and we love that. Early on, we talked about missing a monkey and a lackey, and Wed Coaster said we're lacking a lackey. We are indeed. Let's see.
CRS98 mentioned he has 2 souvenir challenges, both near HQ, one for 50 and another for 100. They used to be much harder to obtain.
Yeah, they're handing out a lot more souvenirs nowadays.
I checked during the show. I have 265, so I think I qualify.
Oh, there you go.
The 150, I think you're close to.
Yeah. Let's see. Talking about Seebeck Tribe got FTF on the backyard one. I forget exactly where we were in that.
Confused Zombies challenge.
Yeah, backyard barbecue. Yep.
There you go.
In case you didn't know, the OP, the Olympic Peninsula, is gorgeous.
It's CRS 98 says it. I believe it.
It's amazing.
Oh, there you go. I just checked. I have 164 souvenirs, so I guess
See?
I could do that too.
164. So I need to up it.
So-
That's what I heard.
So
Got
when
it.
you
That's right,
come
yeah.
over,
If you're trying to keep me out, you haven't accomplished that goal.
when you come over
Okay.
on the 18th, 19th, and 20th, you can
Yeah.
grab that challenge.
Oh, there
Yeah,
you go.
there's a couple challenges you could try for.
You know what? While you're there, just sign them all and then
Sure.
go back
There
later
you go.
if you
Perfect.
qualify.
And then as soon as you sign them all, I'll add one more. That's what
Yeah,
I
there
like.
you
to
go.
do. I like to
Nice.
wait until the locals sign a couple of it and then add one more.
Oh,
You
that's
are
the kind of
scary.
person you are. I got you
Yeah.
now.
Scary, yeah.
Ant says,
I
hey,
am suddenly thinking of the jester and blooming idiot.
Yeah. Josh mentioned caching in costume all the time.
That's it.
Yeah. Have you met them, Josh?
I have not met the jester.
Yeah.
of
Are they
Blooming.
still active cachers? I have not seen them in a
Oh, I
while,
haven't
but
seen him in a while.
I'm not on the west side anymore, so I don't know. But yeah, he had a full jester outfit, and she had a flower pot hat that she went by Bloomin' Idiot, and they wore those costumes everywhere they cached.
Mhm.
I have met Socks though, and Socks wears the big socks all the time.
Yes, I've met Socks,
Yeah.
so that's great. What else we got in the chat here?
Kitty Quest says, I have a souvenir challenge on Vancouver Island that requires 200 souvenirs.
Oh, there you go. I can't do that one. So
I don't even know how many I have. I have 150 because you're required to have as many as you
Right.
put a challenge
Oh.
for. So
Caching Cans has 197 and
191, yeah.
or 191. Gary has
Yep.
197.
Yep.
Seabeck Tribe says she saw them about a month ago at one of her events.
Okay,
Jester
Jester and
Blooming
Blooming
Idiot
oh,
is who I'm
Okay.
assuming she's talking about. Oh, sorry, it's not her challenge. Not
Okay.
Kitty Quest's challenge.
Wet Coaster has 266 souvenirs, I see.
Oh, just had to up me by one. Oh no, by three, I think it is. Yeah.
All right.
Good thing that's not a challenge.
but how many dangerous animal attributes do you have? That's
Yeah, I
that's
don't
one of
know.
my
Yeah.
challenges.
Yeah, the attributes are always fun.
Dangerous animals and abandoned structures.
Yep.
What about abandoned animals and dangerous structures?
Have
I
you
mean,
been to this warehouse?
Yeah, that's
Could be
true.
both. I don't know.
That's true.
Go to the warehouse the day after the event, and there will be abandoned animals, and it's a dangerous structure.
Yep. And if
That's-
you look at some of the events, if you need certain attributes, you might get some at those events, like the warehouse.
CRS 98 says, my virtual cache published last. You read it, Wits End. I can't.
He says, my virtual cache published this last week. That's GC Alpha Juliet Golf 5 November. Don't you know?
I was being Sean Connery.
So yeah, great. Virtual caches. Those are a lot of fun.
Yeah, I really enjoy those.
Seabeck Tribe says she made a cache at Cache Fest, Oklahoma, and she's going to be putting it out at I assume one of these events. She said, I've been bringing it to my events for cachers to test out for me. How evil do I go?
Oh, go full evil.
Yeah,
I've met her. She can't go full evil.
she's too nice.
She's too nice.
And I mentioned I'd seen Hawaiian Miley in the chat. She contributes. I would have been more active, but I drive home from work when this is on. So thanks for joining us. We're glad we could help make your commute a little more enjoyable.
Yeah.
And please don't try to join in the chat while you're driving.
No, not at all. But you could call into 253-693-TFTC.
You could indeed.
Just saying. And use the speakerphone. Don't hold the phone up to your ear. Or don't hold the phone like here to your mouth while you're driving, thinking, well, I've got it on speakerphone. Yeah, but you're still holding it, and that defeats the whole purpose. Okay. Hold on. I got to get off my soapbox here.
Big tall soapbox there. Don't hurt yourself.
Wet Coaster has 45 dangerous animals.
Oh,
Just at his house
impressive.
alone.
Yeah. Nothing to do with caching.
No.
Wow.
Wow.
I was very fortunate because I lived in Florida for a little bit, so I got a lot of dangerous animal attributes because alligators everywhere and
Yes.
other
bet.
things. So
Well, and they have some
Manatee,
insects that are as big as alligators there too.
yeah.
Mosquitoes that'll carry away small children.
Yes.
Holy cow.
That's a lot.
Gary's got 200 or 1,240 dangerous animals.
He's either been to Florida or Australia, one of the two.
Yeah, that's right. Okay, so just to know for the souvenirs, monkey cakes at 263, I ham at 264,
Oh.
wood coaster at 266.
Okay.
It seems to be the range, right? Love it. Oh,
Sure.
he's in Arizona. There are a lot of dangerous animals there.
There are
Everything in
indeed.
Arizona wants to kill you.
Yeah.
I don't have the cactus attribute, and it kind of bums me out because they only had it for a very short time. And there's one geocache still active with the cactus attribute.
Wow.
Because it went shortly to thorns right after that. But Arizona would have been a great place for cactus attribute.
That's more rare than an ape
Michigan.
cache.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Wow. I bet that's a highly sought after cache.
Yeah. One day for me.
CRS 98 has 526 dangerous animals.
Okay.
Don't go in his car. Just saying. There's
That's
a lot
right.
of dangerous animals.
That's a crowded car.
Folks, thank you so much for joining us. And until next week, stay clear of the dangerous animals while you get out and get caching in the Northwest.